Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Anna. Welcome back to my channel, and we are about to get into Love After Lockup, Season 4, Episode 1, Happily Ever After, question mark. Listen, they done finally changed Love After Lockup from Season 3 to Season 4. They done went 69 episodes calling this shit Season 3, and it could have been a Season 4, probably a Season 5 as well. So we open up the episode with Indy and Harry's situation. Indy is at her sister's house, and she wakes up and gets on the phone with Harry, and this is coming off the night that they had the altercation about her finding females in his phone. So he said he's sorry, and he made a mistake and he want to be with her. And she said, well, as long as you're sorry, then I'm still gonna come down there, and I still want to be with you, and I still love you. And I'm just like, girl, he finna play you so bad when he get out of jail, you don't even know it. Next we have Taylor and Chance. Taylor says she's been a good girl all her life, so she likes bad boys. Taylor stays with her twin sister. Well, her twin sister stays with her, rather. And her twin sister has also been incarcerated before. So, sis know the game. Chance is serving 8 years for robbing a grocery store. And he robbed the grocery store by flirting with the clerk. So, she ended up meeting Chance through her ex, who was in jail with Chance. So, she explained how they got hooked up, but that's just crazy to me, how you left one nigga in jail for another nigga in jail. But I digress. Chance done told her that he's related to Brad Pitt. So she told the sister that, and the sister kind of side-eyed like, do you believe him? And she's like, I don't know, let's pull up the picture. So they pull up the picture. They don't look alike to me personally. And the sister is just, the whole time they're having this conversation, sister side-eyeing her like, and I think she know her sister is a little dense. So she trying not to really hurt her feelings, but sometimes you need to, go on ahead and hurt people's feelings so they can wake up. Like, this is not what you should be doing. Sister's trying to tell her, like, are you sure that this is not some kind of scam? Because people say a lot of things when they in jail. I've been in jail. I know what it's like. Sister's probably one of them ones in there scamming people. So you probably might want to take heed to what she's saying. But Taylor says out of her mouth, yeah, I know I probably should, listen to your advice and all the red flags, but I'm not. I'm just like, yeah, you goofy as hell. And he finna take your ass on a ride. So then we get into Lacey and Antoine. Lacey met Antoine through his mother. And she was messing around with Antoine while she was still married to her husband of 20 years. And this is somebody that she had been with in high school. And I think she said met him after high school. But they had been in a relationship since they were young. And as they got older, they grew apart. So she was friends with Antoine's mother. And she was like, oh, you should meet my son. Ooh. I was just like, why you want her to meet her son that's in jail? But okay. So Antoine is the one that he feel like he ended their relationship because they weren't divorced when they started messing around. I'm like, oh, so you wanted your married friend. I don't know. It seemed messy. I don't know the details of their relationship, but it seemed like it was some cheatation going on, and that's what ultimately ended a marriage that was, I guess, already dying. He's 27, and she's 38. He said he's never been in a relationship before. He's never had a job, and when he get out, he finna come stay with her. And I said, oh, so you're taking in a son. You finna have a son. And now, ever since Lacey has been messing with Antoine, like, heavy, the mom is kind of, like, jealous. And it's like, well, why did you introduce them? Like, what was the goal here? I'm confused. What did you introduce them for? Did you not want them to hook up? Or you just introduced them to be friends? I make it make sense. Let's go over to Kevin and Tiffany. So Kevin is obviously a ladies' man. He come on the camera talking about, ooh, there's some good looking women out here, and I'm like, you're already exhausting. He goes out to brunch or lunch or dinner. I think it was dinner, it was nighttime, with his friend. I think her name was Lindsay. I wasn't quite sure about it. He said he's telling Lindsay that he met Tiffany on Facebook and how she got locked up for drug possession. And it's something about him and that friend Lindsay that seemed like they either currently have sex or used to have sex, because he feeding her steak, and when she came in, he gave her a hug and he was just like, oh, you look so good. And it was real sensual and too much for just a friend. I believe they've had sex before. He has been in an on again, off again relationship with his ex-girlfriend, Kayla. And apparently Kayla is out of her mind, because he had a chick over at his house one time, and she came to the house and keyed Shorty car while it was in his driveway. So I'm like, yeah, see, a different kind of crazy. This season about to be interesting. And then the last thing that made me feel like Kevin and the friend that he's on this dinner date with got some sexual tension going on, because when they brought dessert, she got an ice cream. It was like an espresso. They poured the espresso on top of the ice cream. And he was like, damn, that's going to keep you up all night. And she's like, I hope it does. And he's like, ooh. And I'm just like, what is this? Like, this is weird, but okay. So Harry is supposed to be getting released the next day. And Indy ends up going, she goes to her friends and family house, and they end up chopping it up. And Indy is talking to one of her friends about the incident about Harry cheating. So this is one of her friends that really keep it real with her, because she like, Indy tells her that she talked to the psychic, and everything was supposed to be bumpy at first, and it's gonna get better, and I feel like once we move in with each other and we're having sex all the time, like, he's not gonna cheat on me. And her friend was like, you can't be serious right now. Like, you really believe that just because y'all finna be in the house together, that means he not finna cheat on you? That boy been locked up. He's already cheating on you. He was cheating on you when he got to the halfway house. He was probably cheating on you while he was in jail. You weren't the only girl calling him. You probably weren't the only bitch putting money on his books. Believe that. So then she ends up telling her mama that she's going back to Ohio. Mama said, that's a stupid ass idea, but you go ahead and do what you gonna do, because you're gonna do it anyway. So we get back to Taylor. Taylor has 3 young girls under the age of 10. The ages of Taylor and Chance, she's 26 and he's 41. So her oldest child's father got killed in a car accident, and she says she doesn't really have much of a relationship with her youngest child's father. I don't know what she said about the middle baby, but the baby in the back seat talking about she wanted to go see Chance at the jailhouse. I'm just like, oh my God, why y'all gonna get enough of getting these babies attached to these men that you don't even know is gonna be attached to you when they get out of jail? Like, that's not fair to them kids. And these dingy ass mamas keep getting their ass on here and letting their kids develop a relationship with a man that ain't even got out and shown you shit. He has not been consistent. He's only consistent right now because he has nowhere to go. He can't go anywhere. He in jail. When he get out and is able to move around, you really think that he finna be around somebody? He said he want to be a father figure, and them kids like, I'm just like, girl, y'all be so delusional on this goddamn show. But we watching. Then when she gets home after picking her babies up from school, she on the phone with him. He ended up calling from jail, and the girls, her daughters, are, you know, on the phone with him like, hey, Chance, we miss you. And he like, hey, yeah, Taylor, I called you about 15, 20 times. Why you ain't answer the phone? I know you probably got a little boyfriend over there. I said, oh, you one of those. This is going to be a problem. You need to get rid of him because you got 3 little girls. And that's the type of possessive that probably going to end up in some DV. And that don't need to be in front of them 3 little girls. Then, this MF goes so far as to say, and your sister, when I get there, we're going to build a little space in the garage for her so the kids can have their room and you and I can have our space. And I'm just like, hey, what? Boy, you ain't even got out. You have nothing to contribute. And you talking about you finna put the sister out. The sister is probably paying bills around that motherfucker. So what do you mean you finna get out and just be rearranging shit like you the man? And this dense ass lady probably gonna let you, because she all timid with her, well, you know, that's my sister, and, you know, I have to take care of her. And like, well, we'll talk about that when I get out. Girl, that's gonna be a whole issue and a problem. So then they introduce us to Rick. Rick is 49, and he's dating this girl, Raiden, and she's 29. He's a biker that's been intimate with over 300 women. And I'm just like, he a creepy ass old man. Like, he just give me creepy vibes. So he ends up, you know, going to the bar with his biker guys, and they are trying to convince him that he probably shouldn't be doing this, and Shorty is probably playing with him. And, you know, he feel like his friends are being judgmental because the friend, like, you know, this is an ex-addict and somebody that's been incarcerated. He like, I'm an ex-addict. I've been incarcerated. This man said he was addicted to heroin from the ages of 12 to 18 years old. I'm like, wow. How did you get a hold to some heroin at 12 and then had the good sense to know how to use it? Like, that's crazy to me. He don't think he kind of feel like he might be being used, but at the same time he's in denial. And he said over the past maybe 5 years he spent at least $10,000 on her. And when he got on the phone with her, she like, make sure I got clothes, shoes, bras, socks, drawers, all of that when I get home. And he like, oh, you know I got you, baby. And then he shows his penis to the camera. And he says she'll be impressed with the fact that they don't hang. And I'm just like, I'm disgusted. And we didn't need any of that. But, okay. So let's get to Martell and Kayla. Kayla is 33, Martell is 37. Kayla said when she was in school, she used to be into like nerds and jocks, but not really bad boys. So one of her friends ended up introducing her to Martell, which is her friend's cousin. And I feel like they was messing around with each other for a short period of time before he got locked up, because they say he been locked up for 13 years, and they've also been in a relationship for 13 years. And I'm just like, ain't no way. Like, there's no way. It couldn't have been me. But if that's what you like. She said she was very family oriented, and she ended up moving away from her family to be with this man. And I'm just like, y'all really just let these men in prison that can't do nothing for you uproot your whole life and what you know to go be with them on a whim, because you don't know where this is gonna go. This could go south, and you done uprooted your life away from your family that you said you are very close to be with this nigga. And she hasn't had sex in 13 years. You ain't had sex in 13 years, and you saving it for a nigga that's about to get out and cheat on you anyway. I am so sorry, because that's probably what you're gonna be the most upset about. Like, nigga, I waited on this motherfucker for 13 years, all for him to get out and share his dick, and I couldn't get nobody none? Nope. Wouldn't work for me. So she's also talking to her friend about, she got this printout of a engagement ring, and she talking about the ring she won't cost $30,000 to $40,000. And I'm just like, oh, so you want him to get out and go back to selling drugs and guns? Because where you think he finna get that money on a legit job when he first get out of jail on felony charges? Let me know. So Lacey said she been waiting on Antoine for 2 years, and he was supposed to have been out of jail, but this dumbass keep prolonging his sentence because he keep getting in trouble in jail. So she goes outside for a walk, and she gets a call from him, and she ends up telling him that he want to do when he get out. And he said he want to smoke weed and he want to get some. And she was like, oh, you only gonna last 2 minutes. And then they end up segueing to she wants to have a conversation with his mother, because their relationship has been strained since her and Antoine have been together, which is dumb as hell. He introduced them. Anyway, we already talked about that. And she said, Mama got a drinking problem, and it's getting progressively worse. And she said, I really don't want to be around her. Like, I could be cordial, but I don't want to be around her if she's going to be drunk. So then she said something to the effect of, we're going to be around each other all the time. And he's like, well, what if I don't want to be around you all the time? He said it in a joking manner, but he was taking her temperature. He wanted to see what she was going to say, and she went for it, talking about, oh, you know, that's fine. Like, you can go out and stay gone for a couple of days. I said, girl, that's going to come back and bite you in the ass. That is absolutely going to bite you in the ass. He is going to refer back to this clip and say, remember you said that I could stay out, I needed some space, and you told me I could take some space. She told this man, go and live his best life. He said he wanted to go see his homeboys and his homegirls. He said homegirls first. And she's like, yeah, that's cool. Then proceeds to go back in the house and write a letter to him, describing herself as somebody else. Talking about she had a big booty. And she said she's going to put it in her under her friend's address. And she talking about, every woman is a little bit crazy. I say, no, you crazy. Because if you feel like you got to do this already, then you don't need to be with them. Like, why are we wasting time here with this? If you feel like you got to fake send this man a letter to bait him and see if he gonna take the bait. This is a waste of time already. Then when she get to the mailbox, I could have sworn she may have said that nigga better not answer. And I'm just like, she could have said fuck her, because they'll bleep out fuck her. But not a lot of people say that, so I'm just like, okay. So then we get back to Indy. She on her way to Lydia's house. Lydia done folded and let the girls stay with her. And Indy talking about she gonna stay there until they, they get on their feet. And while she's on her way there, Harry calls and tells her, you need to be here at midnight, because technically that's when I'm being released. Like, you can either come get me at midnight tonight or 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm ready to go. So she tells him okay, and she get to the sister house, and they end up cooking because they're gonna have like a little get together for him getting out. So sis is laying down the ground rules, and she like, ain't finna be no sitting around and hanging out and drinking and smoking and kicking it and shit. Like, I'm not finna let him fall back into his old ways. Indy go with this damn psychic again, talking about, well, I talked to Iris, and the sister is just like, here you go with this shit right here. Like, she like, you shouldn't rely on no psychic to run your life. Like, you got your baby out here for a man that you don't even know. And on top of that, you got her calling him daddy. And that's going to confuse her if he get out and this don't even work out. And she like, oh well, we'll just have to see. And the sister is just like, and I'm like, you can't be that annoyed because you letting her stay with you. If you really wanted to lay some ground rules, you could have been like, no, she can't come to my house. If she wants to come to Ohio on a whim, that's going to be on her. But she can't come here. You can't come by here. Where are we at in the notes? Kevin's ex, Kayla, is crazy as hell. And his friend is trying to tell him, like, are you sure? Like, you need to do something about Kayla, because she a liability to Tiffany's parole. She gonna end up getting her, sent back to jail. Honestly, all of that is irrelevant. I can't even think about that, because this bitch gets to the door while he's in his confessional, because she's steady blowing up his phone. And as she at the door, they got the subtitles at the bottom. She banging on the door, and she like, open the door, you bitch ass nigga. So I'm like, what? This white bitch is calling this white man a bitch ass nigga. And I don't care that they both white. I still don't like it. Like, don't stop saying that. Stop saying that shit. Like, that's not for y'all to say. Stop saying it. Please. Because that shit is really blowing the entire fuck out of me. And the shows be letting that shit ride. Ain't nobody black behind that camera. Like, I don't know. They probably put it on there intentionally to create more drama, because they know Shorty gonna get dragged simply for that. But the bitch is crazy, and somebody needs to get a handle on her. She's talking about, y'all need to talk to me, because I'm not about to let y'all take this relationship that I have with him away. You're not gonna take what we got. I'm just like, somebody get this crazy bitch in a straight jacket, because that's what she needs to be. So Indy, they flip back to Lydia's house, and the other sister, Carla, is there, and the mom get there, and they rub me wrong too, because they in their confessional, the confessionals that they do while they in the moment, but they just pull you off to the side, and the mama like, us Puerto Rican women we don't chase our men. We let our men chase us. And I'm like, no, that's not exclusive to Puerto Rican women, ma'am. Don't insinuate that, because it felt like to me that you was insinuating that black women be running up behind motherfuckers. And I just want to let you know that is not the truth. And Indy is a thirsty bitch. And she's running up after behind your son. But don't put that on. Like, don't do that. Because you was being shady. And I caught it. And I don't like that. Stop playing, Miss Ma'am. Like, you knew you was going to be on TV, right? That was real problematic what you said. Don't say it no more. Where am I at? Because that annoyed the hell out of me. Generally, a man should chase a woman. Like, that's how that go. That's not exclusive to Puerto Rican women. It was the way she said it. Us Puerto Rican women. I'm just like, no, don't do that. He get out of jail and she run and jump on him, and he does this whole long ass monologue about how it's so good to be out, and the rain is gonna create sunshine, and the grass is gonna be greener on the other side. And I'm just like, we know you a fuck nigga, Harry, and we know you about to get out and you ain't gonna do right. He get in the car and she like, oh, we're gonna be with each other all day, every day. And he was just like, I was like, oh. You are in for a wild ride, Indy, my dear. And you finna take your baby through this. And that's probably why your other baby daddy got custody of that child. Because you dense too. And you don't need no kids. Like, your mama should have took your baby, honestly. Because you just running around like you ain't got no sense. It ain't like you ain't got no sense. Obviously, your ass ain't got no sense. But that's all. This gonna be a real interesting season, and I'm excited, and I'm ready to get into it. But I'm gonna need y'all to get these white women off of here that like to say the N-word. Like, we gonna have to, we gotta stop that. Anyway, y'all have a good night. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.